What is up, fight fans? We are back for another episode of The Real and the Rare. I'll be joined this evening by Lights-Out MMA lightweight fighter Alex Arteaga. Alex, how are we feeling this afternoon, my friend? You hear me, Alex?
Hi, how are you doing?
Hanging in there, my friend. Obviously, we're getting close within the week of your upcoming fight. How you feeling, my friend?
I'm feeling very calm. Me and my team, we'll be training, we're putting our work, and we're just gonna come with our game plan. And I'm ready to. I'm excited actually. I heard my opponent. He's 2-1. This is going to be his retirement fight, so I might be his last fight. That's what he's claiming in social media to be. So I'm excited to retire him.
Yeah, obviously, fighting for a great promotion down there in California, the Lights Out promotion with one Sean Merriman. This is going to be your third fight for them. How excited are you returning to Lights Out?
Yes, this is gonna be a statement. I haven't win for them yet, and I'm ready to make a statement because I want to represent, my country, and I want to represent everything I've been putting, all the work and training. So this fight means a lot to me.
Yeah, it's obviously the ebb and flows of combat sports. Sometimes you could have the best camp in the world, and just you get in there, it just doesn't always go your way. Sometimes you guys are some of the toughest athletes in the world. Lying to the athletic commission. Yeah, this is good. That's good. Just to make sure you guys can get in there for an opportunity to do it. You know.
Yeah, the opportunity is definitely there. This is gonna be our 25th event for Lights Out. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to represent.
Local guy, obviously, Sean, was a former football player and now MMA promoter. What's it like to work under a guy like Sean, he's always moving, always busy, consistently trying to grow not only his promotion but the sport itself in that California area.
To be honest, it's a blast because the sport is growing so big, and it's super fulfilled to know that there is people watching, there is people supporting, and he's one of them. I know he grew up in San Diego, which is the next county where he grew up his football team career, and then now he's here in the LA County, in Long Beach, putting the work for young athletes to, you know, make a name for the future sports and for everybody that has to do with martial arts. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely a good time. Obviously, the 25th event going there. I think he's going on 6 years, growing this promotion. This is your third fight for them. And obviously, as you said, you're trying to make a statement. What are your goals, man? Like, are you trying to get an opportunity to fight on some of these bigger promotions, or are you okay with fighting with Lights Out and guys like Sean?
My goal is to train for to fight everybody. I really want to see how I do with every fighter that is on my way, because I feel that each fighter bring a unique style, and I have so much to improve. I'm young. I'm 27, and yeah, for sure there is other younger coming up fighters that are like in bigger arenas representing. But I feel that this is my time, and it's my time to like get to experience all these upcoming fighters, and get to improve my level and get more experience in the. And I feel confident. Every time I step into the octagon, I'm getting my rhythm. I'm every time I'm more calm, more collective. So it feels that I'm improving just by putting myself out there and fighting the best of the best. So
That's all you can hope for is to continue to grow, continue to improve. you have fellow athletes to continue to test yourself against, and see how much you've grown from fight to fight. That's kind of the routine that most combat sports athletes have. So I want to kind of switch gears here a little bit. Obviously, big UFC event last night over here in the East Coast in New Jersey. Is they're I think the third time they've done a pay per view there, and Sugar Sean O'Malley doesn't get it done again. Dashvili kind of did kind of what I think a lot of people kind of felt he's doing it, Sean kind of made his name off of the Contender Series. He's got a unique personality. I think a lot of fans kind of connect with. Unless the current champion loses that title, I don't think Sean's going to get another crack at it. Do you?
I think he should fight Henry Cejudo. And if he wins, then he can keep claiming. But for now, I don't see him really getting another chance for the title or even close. I think he should fight people that are coming below him.
Sean's in a rough spot.
Even Chito Vera, I think he should rematch him too. And he should fight Chito. He should fight Henry Cejudo. He should find because he's not any way closer to Merab. Merab is just another animal. He's another level.
He's in a rough spot now. 0-2 against the current champion. It's not he's gonna have to climb a literal mountain to kind of get back there. So he's in a rough spot. But that's the name of the game sometimes.
That I like though that he did make some changes in his training camps. I saw that he was more focused, kind of back to work, when he really wanted to win. And that's what I feel like a lot of people, they wait too long to feel the hunger again. But the hunger and the pain, it has to be there for a fighter. Otherwise, you're not going to see big results. You really have to... everybody wants to be the fighter or the big star in the sport, but you also have to take the pain that comes with it. The sacrifice, the price.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. A lot of time these guys, when they get to the UFC and they get kind of a little bit of notoriety, they get kind of complacent and lazy with their training, with how they go about things, and like you said, anyone who's watching a lot of the videos that are coming out from the UFC, Mr. O'Malley changed everything in his training camp to kind of get him out of that complacence that he was in. I mean, obviously we didn't see it come to fruition in this fight, but hopefully when he gets back in there, we can start to seeing some more growth out of him as a combat sports athlete.
Definitely, it's an energetic game. He was giving too much of his energy to the crowds, to social media, and that's what you get. You lose. He got some losses of it, and he was trying to get it back by quitting smoking, quitting entertaining people on social media and all these things, and you reap what you sow. So I hope he gets back to it because he's still young.
Yeah, he is still young. Obviously, like I said, came in through that Dana White Contender Series, bursted on the scene. He kind of flew through a lot of the a lot of the guys in the rankings, and obviously, this is his second time trying to capture that title. Fell short, unfortunately, but that's kind of the name of the game. Sometimes styles make fights, and I just think that's a bad matchup for him at this time. Hopefully it's something that he can correct and hopefully avenge as he comes along. But like I said, for now he's got a mountain to climb to kind of get back there.
That's right.
Now the women's fight was kind of the co-main there, and Kayla Harrison, is starting to make her claim for that women's GOAT conversation. She's a two-time judo Olympian. She's a PFL champion, and now she just beat Juliana Pena, captured the women's bantamweight title, and it looks like from the the post-fight win that she's going to be fighting her former teammate and the current GOAT of women's mixed martial art, Amanda Nunes. How are you excited for that matchup? What do you think about that?
Oh, I love to see a fight like that happening. To be honest, like it's just in our nature. Like women are so aggressive when they fight, and they're very like on top to each other. I would love that. I think they should put more of those fights. Good matchmaker there.
Yeah, I mean that's just the fight that kind of makes sense, especially if Amanda's coming out of her little mini retirement there. You know, she did lose to Juliana, did win the title back. They had a title eliminator, so Juliana could become the champion again. Now Kayla's kind of the new girl on the block. She's been in PFL since she switched over from the Olympics to MMA. This is her. I believe it was her second fight in the UFC. She's one of those stars in the making. I mean, she's got that judo background that we've seen from Ronda Rousey, but I think is a much higher level, obviously, as a two-time gold medal winner there. But she has a unique opportunity because if memory serves me, Amanda used to train an America Top Team, and that's Kayla's gym now. So there's some familiarity there. I think that should be a fun fight between Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes.
Can't wait to see it.
I can't wait to see it either. On some other news, like obviously John Jones is the quote unquote pound for pound best fighter in the world. He's been holding that division up. There's been some rumors over the past few weeks that he's been saying that he doesn't want to fight Tom Aspinall. He does want to fight Tamara. They have the money. There's a whole lot of weird stuff going on. Then apparently, former champion Francis Ngannou has kind of made it clear that he wouldn't be opposed to a return to the UFC. And all of a sudden, John jumps back in the conversation saying he would love that fight. I think John is one of these guys where, like, if I'm Tom Aspinall, I'm upset. I'm pissed off. I'm irritated, right? And I get that, but I also get where John's coming from. He's literally fought the who's list of guys at heavyweight, at light heavyweight. He's outside of his own personal destruction. No one is really beaten.
Yeah.
Do you think he has the right to sit there and ask for a fight, like if Francis Ngannou decides to come back, or should he just fight Tom Aspinall and walk away?
I'm against to like people that disappear for like a year or two and then they decide to come back. I think they should claim the ladder, because that to me is kind of disrespectful for other fighters. Because when you're living the dream and breathing it, you're stay active all day year round, and that I respect that because it brings me back to my roots. I used to live in a fighting house of MMA fighters, and it was all year round training camp. We have to fight, stay consistent, and there's a thing that once you get to the top, if you want to be like that, you should move out, and let the other people that are willing to fight consistently be where they want to deserve to be. So
I agree with you. I don't think like if you're taking a year off, 2 years off, whatever, you should still have your name status giving you these bigger fights. I agree with continue to let the divisions continue to move on without them. I'm with a lot of people where I think John should just be strict regardless if he's taking this fight, if he's not taking this fight. Let Tom Aspinall, be not an interim champion, be the champion. I'm not a fan of holding the divisions up, so I agree with you. But I'm also a fan of John Jones. You got to respect of what he's done, but I'm also one where like I'm not going to hold on to everything he's done in the past. Is why he gets a pass, why he gets special treatment. So I agree with you. Like listen, he is one of the best fighters that we've ever seen. What he's done in there, who he's beaten, everything like I get that. But I also get like at some point in time you have to move on. You can't let a guy hold up an entire division just because of who he was.
Yeah. So, he's getting the Conor McGregor treatment.
No, but Conor had lost. The difference is Conor had lost. I think that you bring up another, like you bring up Conor McGregor. Now he hasn't fought in so many years, but I said when he broke his leg, he's done. He's not going to come back. And
That's a
like
tough one.
like obviously, you don't know if he's a politician right now. He's co-owner at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. So is he a promoter? Is he a politician? One thing's for clear. I don't think he's gonna fight. I don't care who asks him. I don't care who's offering him money. I don't think that we're gonna see him in the octagon, in a boxing ring, in a bare knuckle. I don't think we're gonna see it. I think that he made so much money during that 10-year span that it's ridiculous. Like like we were just talking about, you have to have that hunger. You have to continually be in the gym. Connor's not going to be in the gym, 24/7, 365. That's not going to happen anymore. So it's like one of those things. Like you can't just. I don't think John's getting the Connor. I think John's getting the John treatment because of who he is. Connor brings a different type of excitement to it.
Yeah.
He like John doesn't do the whole. He's not the entertainer the way Connor is. That's why I think a lot of people, want to see Connor because they want to see what he's going to say, what he's going to do, how he's going to respond, things of that nature. John Jones, we already know who he is inside and outside the octagon or cage. So I think it's a little bit different, but I get what you're saying where it's along those lines. Yeah.
I like it.
Do you think Connor's ever going to fight again or no?
I think he is, but probably not a jump upcoming hungry fighter. Probably they're just gonna match him with someone that is about to retire, someone that doesn't have the hunger, someone that is more like an easy fight, because he might rock up another leg. If they put him with like a super hungry jump oncoming fighter, he might break his other leg. So I think I believe there might put him someone is about to retire, just like Aldo did, just like Porter did, and everybody that generation,
Yeah, it's a unique time in combat sports. You got to think about it. You rewind 10 years. We didn't have as many promotions going on. Didn't have any. Didn't have all these streaming services where you can catch a fight here, catch a fight there. Even more so to the point where the rumor has been like that the UFC is going to go away from the pay-per-view model. I think if they get the right streaming partner, we very might well see that. And I think that's even more of a better thing for fans. You think where the sport is now is probably the most accessible time for fans to be able to kind of tune in and watch fights. Not just in the UFC, like even the promotion you're fighting as Lights-Out, that they're on apps. They have their own app, things of that nature where you don't have to have, be in front of your TV and have to pay a pay-per-view price or things like that. There's, I think, an accessibility right now in combat sports that is second to none.
Yeah, I agree with you. No, also that, but we're reaching more people every year. Every time that the culture of fighting grows as it's growing as big as it is right now. There's gonna be more eyes seeing it, more people trying to do it, more people supporting it, and I'm just excited because this is what I really love about fighting. Is in my blood, it's in my lineage. So just seeing people from everywhere coming and sharing my same dream with me, this is exciting me a lot. So happy for it.
Yeah, it's a fun time in combat sports. And I think there's more of a parity. Like UFC is still the top combat sports promotion, but I think there's a parity now where you have what Bare Knuckle's been doing over the last few years. I think they've kind of put themselves in a position to be one of the top promoters. Boxing's come back in a big way, even to the point where we're about to see Dana White being an actual promoter for an upcoming big boxing match, which I think is big. People have been talking about it for a few years now. How much more time are we going to have with Dana White as being the guy behind the UFC? I think we're going to start seeing a little bit more of what it looks like with him promoting other things. and as we talk about boxing, you have the Jake Paul and what he's doing with his promotion. Amanda Serrano is one of the biggest female boxers of this generation. I know Chrissy Shields over there likes to say that she's the GOAT, but I think Amanda Serrano is one of the biggest stars in female boxing. There's a general parity that's going on in combat sports that I think is great for all of us, for the fans, for the athletes, all of us.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Now, we had a guy in the chat saying, asking about John. We already asked about John, but I'll go another way with this. John Jones just made a Mount Rushmore of combat sports athletes. Some people may agree with it, some people won't. What about you, Alex? Who like if you had to make your own personal Mount Rushmore of fighters, who is your four fighters that either you look up to that you think are some of the best fighters in the world? Who are your four if you have a Mount Rushmore pick?
To be honest, it's hard because anything can happen in a fight. To really truly know a fighter, I think I have to be more close, or like either train with them or like live near them. So I don't really like follow too close people that is not around me. So I think my bigger fans, my bigger inspiration is people that train with me, that share blood, sweat, tears down with me, even myself. I don't use that inspirational source, things that are from far away, because you don't even know the amount of force that I get from inspiration around me, like where actually I belong, where actually I'm putting the work on. So I'm getting more inspiration for my local fighters, my local promotions. For me, it's bigger to fight my local promotion here in my town, in LA or Orange County or San Diego, locally, than to fight any big Las Vegas or any big international sports, to be honest, because this is kind of like, it's more sacred to me. So everything local, it's kind of like shopping in a local farmers market instead of international farmers
Yeah, I
market.
know what you mean.
Yeah,
I mean, look, listen.
it's the
The
love,
first time I definitely feel you there. Like when you're in that area a lot and stuff like that. Like when I first started covering combat sports, the first promotion that gave me media credentials was a local promotion. It was a
Yeah,
smaller promotion, so I definitely get where you feel like that, and regardless if you're in a smaller gym, a bigger gym, a smaller promotion, a larger promotion, like you grab inspiration and tools you learn things to compete with from everybody. When you're in that part, it's like you're a sponge. You suck up everything that's going on around you. So like I
yeah,
definitely hear you when you're sitting there saying like that. That's where you get a lot of your inspiration from. A lot of stuff that motivates you is from the smaller gyms, the smaller groups of athletes that you kind of work with on a regular basis. So that's not a bad response, my friend. We all get that feeling. Like it's like even when you look at like when you start to look at like other bigger sports, like football, baseball, basketball, we always want to see our local guys succeed before we see these big superstars succeed and do great things and things of that nature. So it's one of those things where you always draw from something, right?
yeah. I get more inspirations locally, but all the big names that are fighting in like this west side of the country, that are MMA fighters and in top 10 in the UFC, are a big inspiration to me. There are many of them, but basically anybody that is willing to, like just inspire, but from a form of authenticity, from the rawest truth of what it comes to, like the sacrifice that comes to be in that top 10.
I definitely hear you, man. Now, what are like? Obviously, you say you take inspiration from the smaller stuff and the smaller things like that. Like, when you're training, and you're doing your thing. What do you love to do most? Or are you a wrestler? Do you like the grappling aspect of it? Do you like the striking aspect of it? Or kickboxing? What is the thing that gets you up in the morning that you can't wait to get into the training room?
I like MMA, to be honest. I like where the point where all the martial arts meets together. That's where I joined the most. I really enjoy to like. There is nothing more satisfies than put the small gloves with no shin packs and you just go for like free lifestyle like rounds where you can throw anything like capoeira, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, muay thai, boxing, anything. I really love that. It's like vale todo, MMA, like everything. So that's my favorite thing, flow lifestyle that I can go use MMA. That's the reason why I fell for it.
I feel you, man. Like, I haven't trained or anything like that, but I had kids that both done jujitsu and MMA training and stuff like that. The feeling inside them gyms is just something special, my friend.
Yes, I grew up more like into culture where I have a Brazilian coach back in my home country in Ecuador, and I used to compete a lot of jiu-jitsu tournaments. And I spent a lot of time doing jiu-jitsu, but still, like even when I put the MMA gloves, I'll feel more drop into like the full flow of MMA. Besides any other specific martial arts, it's just a passion that it moves me more than any other specific martial arts.
Now, we're starting to see like kind of MMA being more accepted all over the world and things of that nature. We just seen the Olympic Committee announced that they're going to have flag football this year, where you're going to have actual NFL players being allowed to play that. Is there ever going to be a time you think that MMA is going to be accepted on an Olympic level? Like we have literally every other aspect of MMA inside the Olympics. You got kickboxing, you got jujitsu, Muay Thai, judo, things of that nature. Do you think we'll ever see like a rule set specific to Olympics to have mixed martial arts in there?
Yes and no, because it's a very tough sport. Like anything can happen to the fighter, anything can happen to the fight. It's hard to manage, man. I mean, I can imagine the stress of Dan and Y, and like I know he has a whole team for it. For even for a small promotion, like finding the fighter, like pulling out, like the fighter got injured. No, it's a lot of work behind, and if they want to put it into that level to the Olympics, it's gonna be tricky because like anything can happen to the fighter, anything can happen to the show. So I mean, definitely is there the idea, but I think you should stay into like more like in the private section before going to like the Olympics, where I enjoy it more. That's me.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it's
enjoy
one
it
of
more.
those things where I think it's just grown so much. I think if it was like kind of like an amateur rule set where you would probably have headgear, shin guards, and that to kind of lessen the chance
Yeah,
of
we do both.
cuts and things like that nature, we
Already.
could
Oh,
potentially
we're good.
see it. But
Just a couple drinks with Steve.
it's the international committee. It would be up to them. But I agree that it is tricky sometimes where you might have a fighter that gets injured or things of that nature that you can't control. So it'll be interesting to see at some point in time, maybe over the next 10 years, where we might see it. But I also agree with the fact that it may not, just because there's aspects of it where it makes it really hard to kind of put a team together, weight class together, etc., to kind of have it on that scale.
Yes, and then the rules and the matchmaking, the contracts, everything is very complicated. It's not just put two guys and fight, So I know we're getting there, but I'm enjoying it more like how it is right now.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Like, listen, I love how much the sport has grown over the last 10 years. We were already talking about the parity that we see across and the things of that nature, but it's it's definitely one of those things where we'll have to see how it goes. But one or two more, and then until we'll let you go. We got some trolls going on in the chat room right now. I ain't gonna even put that up there. um, Obviously, we're down to within the last 2 weeks. Your fight's coming up. As you said, your opponent apparently is going to be retiring. Uh, you know, June 14th, you're going to be able to go in there and do your things for the Lights Out promotion. Are you going to have a lot of family coming with you for this one? Is it what's your general feel of this event for?
Well, it's hard to say because I'm alone in the country in the U.S. I came by myself 5 years ago, joined UFC MMA housing with like training Team Oyama in Irvine. Then I bounced around for a couple of years. I trained in Huntington Beach, in Santa Ana, and all different gyms. And kind of like the only family that I have is my teammates, like people that trains with me. But other than that, I don't really have a big family out here. It's just be myself. I really moved here just strictly for the sport because I knew MMA was growing here, big scale. So, but other than that, like that's it. I don't really have much family, but at one point I do wanna bring my mom and show her like, hey, here's your son, like watching in life. But yeah, it's gonna take some time because right now she's busy out there and taking care of my other family members. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, I definitely feel you there. That's like kind of where I'm at. I haven't been able to kind of really cover events the way I want to because I have to take care of my mother. So
Yeah.
being able to go drive, cover the event the way you would want to, it's not the easier way to kind of go things. And I definitely hear you like where your mom's taking care of your family. I'm sure you'd be overly excited, over the moon to have her there ringside to watch you compete on a high level like what you're doing at this moment. So it's I guess kind of bittersweet, but like I said, it's the other part of it where the growth of the sport is good, where that she could be sitting there, with her phone doing whatever she had to do and still be able to watch you and support you in that way too.
Yeah, or another option would be to book me a fight on the South America side. Fight in those countries where Argentina, Peru, Colombia, Panama, Mexico, so that way she can come like closer. That's another option, But I'm happy here in the market of fighting in the U.S. I think I'm progressing faster here, so I'm happy. We'll see. It's time will tell.
Yeah, time will tell. But uh, as we get ready to wrap this one up, Alex, what I typically do is kind of throw the proverbial microphone over to you. Anyone you would like to thank, training partners, teammates, shoot out your social media sites, let everyone know where to follow you across all the platforms. Any sponsors you may have that you would like to show some love to, the time is yours, my friend.
Yes, definitely. My social media is Alex Arteaga, AMM. Sorry, AMM. Alex Arteaga, AMM. And thank you for everybody that has been following me in the journey. All my teammates, coaches, everybody that has some sort of sharing this journey with me to follow the path of the fighting in the big stage. So thank you guys, thank you all my mentors, all my coaches, all my family members. Thank you, Yerba Santas, the Lemon Leaf Natural Wellness, and yes, thank you everybody who has supported me in the fighting sport. Thank you so much.
Not a problem, Alex. As I always say on here, best of skill to you on the 14th cut coming up. Hopefully, you have a great fight. You can get yourself back to your winning ways and start to move yourself up the rankings, the ladder, continue to grow, things of that nature. Appreciate your your time this evening, my friend, and you know. Hopefully you have a great event, and we get to have you back on here again and talk about your next fight.
Thank you, Steve, for having me. And after this fight, I'm gonna, like enjoy the fruits of my labor, and I can't wait to see you again too for the next one. Thanks so much.
Let's do it, my friend. Best of skill. Have some fun. Tell Sean I said what's up when you see him, and you have a good evening, my friend. All right, everyone. That was Alex Arteaga. He's going to be getting ready to fight for Mr. Mr. Sean Merriman in the Lights Out Promotions, the 25th event. Man, this troll in the chat room just won't stop. I got to bring this one up here. As you're sitting there, me and Alex, right? Me and Alex, Mr. Soul Guy. How is that going to happen? All right, first off, right? Alex is a 155-pound fighter. You know, last I checked, I was like 230, right? So what we be fighting in old school UFC rules. 2, he's trained. He's trained, right? I'm not. As much as I follow the sport, as much as I love the sport, he would run circles around me. I'd probably last about 3 minutes before I physically die of exhaustion. You know, all the other ribbing and stuff that the comments that I'm not going to put up here to kind of give you that type of platform, man. Come on, man. Come on. I love all you guys and all of our listeners and supporters, but let's show these athletes love. It doesn't matter if he's 0-18, if he's 5-5, if he's 13-1, it doesn't matter. We all all these guys have a story to tell. All these girls have a story to tell. I'm giving them the platform to do so. Come on, Soul Guy. I need better from you, my friend. I need some better comments. I need some better love for my fellow athletes. That, you know, regardless if you know you're friends with the opponent or whatever. Come on, guys. We got to be better than that. We got to be better than that as fans and supporters. That's not the way to go about it. Okay, but again, guys, if you are in that California area, make sure you check out Lights Out MMA 25. Regardless if you're a fan of Alex, if you're a fan of his opponent or anything in between. Well, good. I'm glad you're messing around. I'm glad, Soul Guy. If you give me something I can put up there, you trashing my guest, man. I can't be doing that. How are we going to respond on that level? I love the joking around. I'm always gonna pull up the stuff that's worth bringing up. But man, come on, we got to do better than that. Me versus Alex, he beat me up, man. I might get lucky and get one good shot on him and crack him. That'll probably be my best bet. But all the other stuff, man, come on, Soul God, we need to find some better constructive criticism for that. Well, I'm glad. Now, the other side of that is head over to that Lights Out MMA app. Check out all the content they got over there. Show Sean Merriman some love. Show Alex some love. Show his opponent some love. And make sure you guys are tuned in June 14th to show all the athletes some love. That's Sean has been doing this for 6 years now. Obviously, the 25th event. He was just recently on Ariel Helwani's show talking about his promotion. So, guys, make sure you guys are showing your local athletes some love, like Alex, like the other fine combat sports veterans on their card. And let's continue to grow some of these smaller promotions. Not everyone's got the backing of a UFC and have all these corporate sponsors and things of that nature. But let's continue to show these athletes some love. I will be back at the top of the next hour, and I'll be talking some BKFC Ice with one of their athletes. So, guys, if you haven't locked in, please like, subscribe, share. Make sure you're locked in because we're going to be talking to the main event for June 14th's Battle of the Borders. And, if you refer to it as BKFC Ice or Ice Fights, we're going to be back on here in about an hour, and I'll be having some more fun with you guys in the chat. Bring some better comments, Soul Guy. We're gonna have some fun in a little bit, all right? Other than that, this was another episode of The Real and the Rare. I'm your host, as always, Steven Rychel. I will be back very shortly to show some love for all my combat sports athletes. We did talk what 117. It was at the beginning of the program. I will talk about it again in an hour when I bring on the next guest this afternoon. So again, make sure you guys are locked in. We're gonna have some fun. I'm about to out of here and catch you guys in a little bit. Peace out, my friends.
Oh,